Through with the strength in you. Dun 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 dun. Coming through with the strength in you. Hey boo. Hey, coming through with the strength in you. What it do, what it do. Coming through with the strength in you. You made it. Good job. Strength in you. Coming through. Strength in you. Coming through. Hey boo. Good morning, honey loves. Happy Monday. Yes, yes, yes. We made it through the weekend. We got another opportunity to try again, never giving in to giving up on ourselves. And I'm just going to make it quick this morning, kind of something like that. I'm about to bring in my sugarfoot sweet face, my other queen of the bunch. Let's see how she do. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning.
How you doing, honey?
Good, good, good.
Good to see you. You're looking vibrant this morning.
I'm
So,
trying to.
without further ado, I'm going to bring in our king of the bunch.
Yo!
What it do, King Wisdom? How you doing, honey?
Tired as hell this weekend, like hanging out with my niece and nephew. I wasted a lot of my energy. But enough about me. How was stroke camp? I've been dying to know.
So, see,
It was
I couldn't
good.
even tell the people. Dang, you all excited.
Yeah.
Dang, Junior.
Listen, I saved all my energy for this show, so you guys are getting all of it. And then once we're done, I'm going back to sleep.
I know that's
Me
right.
too.
I for sure didn't want to get up.
Facts. I'm
Look,
like,
we
let me
all
get this
fine.
energy out now, and then we'll go back to
Okay,
sleep.
so y'all,
What?
Girl, we can't hear nothing you said. Them that
I
was a
know I
martial arts
am.
movie right there.
I know it's the internet. I don't know what they doing or what.
Mm.
Hey Maggie, we good, sugar. How you doing?
How you doing, Mags?
Okay, so let me just tell the people since Wisdom decided to just throw it out there real
Mhm.
quick.
Yeah.
Stroke camp, y'all. So, me and my girl Courage went to stroke camp down in Happy, Texas. Perfect place, right?
Yeah.
Perfect name, Happy. But so what is stroke camp? I
Yes.
know y'all try like what the hell is stroke camp? Okay, well, stroke camp is just like any other camp, except it's for stroke survivors and their caregivers. And you get together and you have support groups, you do crafts, you play games, you I went swimming on one side. Wait, we'll talk about that. But anyway, you swim, you do zip line, and it's basically is wherever you're located. So it's different activities in different places. But needless to say, they make the activities adaptable for us so that there's nothing that we can't do. They it's just about uplifting one another. And when I say it's like any other camp, let me tell y'all, I was not expecting to get up at 7 o'clock and nobody morning on a Saturday. That was real disrespectful. But it was worth it because from 7 in the morning, we got up, got dressed, but to 10 o'clock that night, there was straight activities playing, even your nap time, because us strokies be needing a nap, but me and Courage was plug thugs and we ain't even sleep. We was just, man, we was making moves. So some of the adventures, well, I talked a lot. Let me let Courage tell you about some of her adventures first, because y'all know I talk a lot. I get sneak. So Courage, tell them about your experience, boo.
One of the experience was riding the golf court. We went
That's
on
not
the
an
golf court and
experience.
I was like, huh?
What you say, Wisdom?
I said that's not an experience riding a golf cart.
Oh, that's her experience.
Okay. But you look like you wasted
Well,
all
you
your
go ahead and
energy this
talk your
weekend.
experience.
No.
Did I have? Well,
I'm
I had fun
I'm
on the golf
sorry.
course.
I'm
I got to
sorry. I'm
see.
sorry.
But anyway, I had fun on the golf course because I got to experience like going all the way up to the top, like a mountain. Like you was close to
Mhm.
the sky, and you could just see down like in like a canyon. And it was just fun because then we got to go to the big. It was like a big pillow, air pillow that you get to jump on, and I got to experience What else did I experience? Basically, just meeting a lot of people. The love there was just like it was like family. You couldn't help but to cry when it was time to go. Everybody was crying and
Aw.
emotional.
Girl, don't forget about
I
your
think I
fishing
cried
experience.
more.
Don't
Yeah, I was
forget
about to
your
say, didn't
fishing
you
Oh,
guys go
and
experience.
I
fishing?
went fishing.
Oh, okay. Did
Yes,
you
I went
catch
fishing and
anything?
caught a fish. Huh?
You caught a fish?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, I
You
caught a
guys
fish
had
and I stayed woke out that day.
yeah, you
Right.
guys had a good time. It sounds like.
Well, needless to say, we had an amazing time. So if I have any stroke survivors that's on here, I want you to look into Stroke Camp, strokecamp.org. And it's a reminder that you can still get out there and do everyday things like everybody else. And it's with people who look just like you. So there will be no judgment. And it's all love, like Trina said. That feeling was overwhelming, but it was beautiful. But besides Stroke Camp, guys,
What's up, Jocelyn?
hey boo, hey. Today's word of the day, y'all, because ain't no real topic. Ain't no real topic just because stroke camp and life been real and school is in session. But I figure we can just talk about accountability. No, or I got a couple topics actually. So let me reel it back in, Joy, and give my other host the opportunity. Do either of you guys have something that you would like to talk about?
Not really.
Okay, that was wisdom. What about you, courage? Because I got stuff. Look, I got
I'm
a whole
trying to
list
get
of
it.
stuff.
I guess if we would talk about anything, it's like spending time with family, but and how important that is. But that would be the only thing.
Okay, that's what you're thinking. And what are you thinking, Miss Courage?
I would say like letting your guard down,
Mm.
I
taking
like that.
chances.
Now I like that one. Now before we get into it though, Miss Maggie said something. I want to address it real quick. Just so you guys
But
know,
isn't there one in Asheville, like near Asheville?
what a stroke camp?
Uh huh.
Yeah, there is a stroke camp actually in Asheville.
There you go.
So there are stroke camps all over. And if you just go to the strokecamp.org website that I talked about and click find a camp, it'll tell you which where they at. And you look at which one closer to you and just make a move and just go enjoy yourself and live your life, man. Cause that's gonna go right into the topic of Trina's of letting your guard down. Oftentimes we are guarded as trauma survivors, thinking that we can't do certain things because of our traumas and how the world perceives us, whether it's stroke, diabetes, amputation, like whatever your trauma is, there's always going to be an outside perception of it, but they're not living it. But how do you go about letting your guard down and living positively in a fun way? So since Miss Courage brought the subject in, I think you should be the first one to address it.
Well, I know from when I first made it there, I had a guard up, you know. So then, as I got the experience, like seeing everybody else relax and get to know one another, my guard came down, and it was like, wow, just feel you could actually feel the love once you let the guard down. You can actually be okay with being who you are, and then you start to think, well, you know what? It's just in my head. People don't. Some people really just not judging me. And so once I let my guard down, I really enjoyed the rest of the weekend
So I guess the first question for you would be then why were you guarded in the first place?
because when you first go through trauma in your mind, you be thinking like, well, I know for me, I'm not gonna speak for everybody. Your first thing is how is they gonna adapt to me, or am I gonna be walking too slow for them, or am I gonna, you have a lot of overthinking that you put a guard up Well, no, I don't want to participate because I don't know how they're gonna react to if I'm not doing this a certain way. So
Yeah.
you kind of close. I kind of close myself in.
And let me ask you this: how long did it take you to let your guard down?
I would say by that night when we went to the campfire,
Uh huh.
it was pretty much coming down.
So
Then
it
when
took
I
you like
started
most of
seeing
the day.
like, yes, like not, yeah, about a couple of hours because you get it. As soon as you get there, it's no time to yourself. I mean, it's
Yeah,
people walking up to you and talking to you and being friendly and want to hug you, and it's like, whoa, and come on, let's do this, and they just embrace you. So you can't help but to just your guard just start falling down. And the one person that I was amazed with that made me laugh was, well, I had two people. One was Gary. There was a guy, he was a veteran and he was an older guy. But just to see him smile when everybody walked in the room, it was just like you couldn't help but to say, "Hey, Gary," and he just smiled.
Mm.
And it was another lady. Her name was Miss Mark, and I think she was older. She was an older lady, but I got the enjoyment of trying to race her. I be like, "Come on, I'm gonna beat you into the door," and she be like, "You ain't gonna beat me," and she just
so
be
you said
tickled.
Miss
And she would
Martha?
just tickle, and I guess. And I guess
Okay,
the enjoyment of hearing her laugh by me just messing with her every time we went somewhere, it just my God just came down easy.
that's awesome.
Cause
Shout out
Joe,
Mr. Gary and
yeah, cause
Mrs.
Joe was
Martha.
like, "There go your girl."
Right. Shout out to, like you said, Wisdom. Shout out to Gary and Margot. Yes, they were
Oh,
awesome.
it's Margot. I thought it was
Yes,
Margot.
Margot. And Gary
Margo.
has aphasia, y'all. So if I do good, maybe before this episode is over, I can actually get the pictures in, but or just show you on my phone. I'm gonna be ghetto about it. But let me tell y'all, Gary has aphasia and his body is real contorted because of, stroke, of course, and he can't move it. So his foot turns in and his hand is real contorted. But you can see the joy in this man's face because he's just excited to be alive. And that was the part of it. You can see the play, the fun, like although this man couldn't use his words, his expression spoke volumes, and it was just the most breathtaking experience. I fell in love with him. He was like a little pimp, and he'd get in the pictures like
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
it
like,
was real cool. But that made me think when you said that, of you going in thinking how you walk too slow and all these different things that makes you guarded. It made me think of how when we're young, it follows you into your adulthood with being guarded from just trauma that you've experienced, not from stroke or not none even as an adult, but things as a kid. Because think about it, your cousins make fun of you, or people that made fun of you as a child. It kind of gives you a complex, a reserve. Like, do I look like this? Or we be saying F them and whatever, but the truth still underneath, you kind of get some subconscious, some what's the word I'm looking for? Not subconscious. Come on, help me out.
I don't know what you're saying.
We'll funk it. We'll get there.
Okay.
Subconsciously, that's the word.
Subconsciously. You,
Subconsciously.
usually I help out with these things, so I was in like I almost took my coffee, so I was like trying to like deal with that.
Yeah, subconsciously it actually bothers you, and it goes into like your teenagehood, and then you go through high school. We all know high school can be a pain in your whole butt,
Yeah.
and kids and teenagers are cruel. So some of the things that's taught to you in high school, or is picked on you about, goes into your adulthood, and then life happens like it did for us, and that just adds to already these layers of insecurities, if you will, that we have, which leaves us guarded. So, what made you comfortable enough? to release courage was people embracing you, or was it that they look like you, or what made you positively break down that barrier?
I would say a little bit of both.
Okay.
Sometimes you just get tired. You get tired of not having the interaction of people. You get tired of being in your own mind or feeling the loneliness or in the darkness. That it's like I just want to feel something different.
Right.
And so once I let my guard down, I was like, wow. I felt like stroke was the last thing I was worried about. I didn't even just really think about it. Now I did get emotional, was crying, but it wasn't on the stroke trauma. It was on
Right.
other traumas that I went through. So yeah, it was a little bit of both. It was
Let me
just
ask
the
you this:
love and
like,
the
did you get inspired by anyone there? Like, did you look at any of the survivor and be like, "Well, I can't really gripe about my situation. Look at this person." You know what I mean?
yes, I mean, for me, everybody showed a bit of being inspired. I mean, that's all you seen in the room. Everywhere you look was like, I'm inspired by you because you's a spouse of a stroke survivor, and the way you're emotional, and you're not even a survivor, but just to see that you're emotional about this, and then you go over here like Gary, he's been coming to the stroke camp for 11 years, him and his wife, and you be like, now look, it's not even fading him no more. He just enjoying being here. Then you have Margot that just up and just living life. I mean, it was just inspired everywhere. It wasn't no negativity.
Yeah,
It
that's
was all
awesome. I'm glad you
positive.
guys got to do that, especially you guys together. You know what I mean? Like, um, I wish I would have went. I think it would have been a blast, but I'm
Next year, we
happy.
all in it.
I'm happy you guys got to go and witness, kind of like have a good time and go to these things that you previously thought was inaccessible to you, and you found a way through stroke camp or whatever the case is to like gravitate towards something new. You know what I mean? Like I didn't let courage. I was kind of like messing around with it, but I didn't let you finish that whole topic about going on the golf cart. But like going on that is an experience. Like you going up that hill, you couldn't do that normally.
Yeah,
You know,
yes.
so that was really cool. Like that, I was like really excited. I saw some of the pictures last night that Joy posted, and I was like, oh, like I can't wait to ask him, like what happened. You know, I was so excited.
Yeah, I was lit
Yeah, it
that
was.
whole experience, and it was like it was almost like we were mini celebrities because not being funny, but we was the only black kids in there. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, and I mean that's just it's unfortunate, but that's kind of our culture as black people that they
Yeah,
like, oh, that's for old people, or they don't want to accept the fact or even acknowledge the fact that they had a stroke because to them it's a degrading experience. They haven't found the beauty in that yet, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. But it was like we come in and everybody eyes just like lit up when me and her walk in, and it's like we heard so much about y'all. We've been ready to meet you, and I'm like, well, how y'all knew us?
for real.
And apparently they have been, they got to go over the applications and stuff, and so that's when they were seeing, and I guess they did some research a little bit and was seeing some of the stuff we do, but they were just I don't know. They were just so overjoyed that made us overjoyed to even be there.
Aw,
It was just one of the best. And then we had our names on the door like celebrities, like
Yeah.
this room is for Joy Town and Katrina Prince.
yes,
We didn't
bitch,
have to fix our
yes.
food or nothing, honey. They waited on us hand and foot.
Yes.
When I tell you, it was
Nice.
lit. like
I should have known it was gonna be lit when you guys called me like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, yeah, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is too much energy for like this early in the morning.
That's how you
Well, we
know
hadn't been asleep. We hadn't went to sleep yet.
we hadn't went to sleep. And wisdom, that's how you know my energy is the truth. That I'm like that at all times of the day.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I was like, I still had like boogers in my eyes. I was like, what the hell is going on? And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, oh my god, it's so good. Oh my god. I'm
And
like,
everybody's
oh,
like, Joe,
okay.
I just need your energy because everybody's like, where you get this energy? I don't know. It's just in me. I
I just drank
savor it.
a cup of coffee and I'm still like tired. So I can imagine.
But let me tell
Well, I
y'all
know
about this.
I was beat. I said I
I
need
went
to
to
get.
pick,
I ain't took a nap in 4 days, 3 days. I was
I
tired.
gotta try to get this video up. I got to try to show y'all this swimming experience because since this side don't go no do nothing,
Yeah, how did you pull that off?
I didn't.
She pulled it.
I was in one place and I was trying and I was trying. And then the therapist came up like, let me help you, Joy. She's like, your legs moving, just do the scissors. And I'm like, because that left leg did not want to be in that joint.
Oh really? Tito, were you going around the circle?
I was going in a circle.
At first, yeah.
Instead of throwing that ass in the circle, I was throwing that leg in the circle.
Hello.
Oh my god, dude.
And I'm so crazy. I make fun of myself all the time. So
Yeah.
I'm just making fun of the whole situation. My toe grinding the bottom of the pool because it has no air in the left leg, so it wouldn't float.
Mm-mm.
Now, speaking of that, now I got to ask y'all, how in the hell does that work? How you got, because to float, you got to have air in your body. Now, all of my body was floating except for my left leg. It just kept falling to the bottom. Like, ain't no air over there. Like,
It was not responsive. Yeah, I go through the same thing when I go into my pool. Like if I try to like float, like the left side of my body doesn't want. I'm like,
right, like the left side needs CPR. Like,
it's like I know you're numb, but damn, do something. Like come on.
then I
Hello,
thought I was a dolphin.
Jerry.
I was trying to do it, but it wouldn't work out.
I walk like penguins. Yo, we do walk like penguins. If we think about it.
I know
My,
I walk like a penguin.
we do all like pink.
Matter of fact, we're going to get some penguin
Me
shirts made.
too.
Walk
But
like a stroke survivor.
What the hell
but
was
get
that?
guess what, Wisdom? I know what I had to tell you. Guess what I did today?
What?
The scenery was so pretty that the next morning I got up and went walking. Did my little lap. Joy was like,
I was proud.
it's
I
too
woke up
early in
and
the morning. She peeked out the door talking about it's too early in the morning.
Joyce said that?
So I enjoyed that because, man,
let me tell
huh?
you why I said that. So for y'all who
Mm-hmm.
don't know, this is how committed I was to stroke camp, okay? And to courage. I had to drive an hour and a half to Denver Airport from Colorado Springs. I caught a flight at 9 o'clock, got to Texas at 11. Well, then I get to Texas and I got to drive 20 minutes from that airport. And I didn't have the right car date. So the rental car place wasn't open. So the lady had to come and pick me up from the airport at midnight. And then the next morning, I had to get up and drive to the stroke camp, which was 4 hours away from where I was originally. So not only did I drive in Colorado, but then I went to Texas and drove 8 hours altogether. And we was up all night because it was her sister's birthday weekend. So we was lit. Like
Yo, that was your niece that went with you, right? That was in Texas?
That's my
I
sister.
went by myself, but
My sister.
that was Courage's
Oh,
sister.
okay. Okay. I
Yeah.
was wondering who that was. I was like, oh, she looks like Katrina, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's my sister. I know because that drive home, we drove 7 hours, and them back roads is no street lights.
Hey,
So it was
mister,
just
what you
dark.
mean circulation, honey?
And I'm sitting up there
Circulation.
like, Sissy, you woke? And she said, yeah, I'm woke. I said, but we can't see nothing in front of us. She said, yeah, and I looked over, Joe. She was going about 110. I said, you speed? Well, if you go back to sleep, you wouldn't know what I'm doing. I said, well, fine, then.
Hell no, breaking the law, breaking the law.
I mean, because you want to get off them country roads back off in there. You don't want to be on the roads late night with no light.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
honey
what
love,
is
I don't know why I
you
won't flow. We
can't
got to
just say
find out from the doctor because that's a real
circulation.
question, and I'm gonna address that when I go find out because it really would not
Maybe
flow.
it's the muscles,
Maybe it's the lack of muscle
cause our
definition
muscles don't work
and the lack of oxygen because it don't
and
breathe
they
that good.
heavy.
I'm like, it don't
Mhm.
breathe that good, but that's true. It don't breathe that good. So we need to look into that. That's a real thing. But see, we wouldn't know these things if we didn't let our guard down. So that's the importance of letting your guard down and be able to experience new experiences
Yeah.
and not be afraid to get out there because we wouldn't have known our leg didn't float had we not got into this water and tried. So
Was that your first time going in a pool?
no, but that was my first time actually trying to focus on swimming. Usually I get in there
Mm,
and I like walk around and do like therapy stuff. And like I go underwater and play with my kids because that's who I'm usually in the pool with. But this
yeah.
day I was like, let me try to swim. And yeah.
Yeah.
And then the first time, listen, I thought I was gonna die because I was trying to save my hair because I didn't want to put my red back in there. And then I was trying to stand up with that left foot,
Mhm.
but that left toe got the game banging and it wouldn't let me. So I was trying to get up there, but I couldn't catch it. And they thought I was about to die. I did too for a split second. And I had to tell myself, like, calm down, girl. And
She said her toes went to gangbanging.
man, they be like GD, Vice Lord Crib, Blood.
Who don't? Yo, I want to ask y'all something.
What?
So I heard, I don't know if this, I think this is fake, but Illinois is gonna have a purge. Did you
Who gonna
see
have a
that?
purge?
Illinois, the state of Illinois.
Now I don't know about that, but the day is I'm going back just for the date. Cause I started there. Junior.
Why? You look confused, Peanut. Do you know what I'm talking about or no?
I know what a
Yeah,
bird
this is what my
is.
post looks
Well,
like. So
I
yeah.
saw, I saw like next year they're gonna start doing a purge in Illinois, and I was like, this can't be real.
My
But
Chicago
then
friends, y'all who watching, let me know if this is what's going down. Cause I owe a few people some things when I was trying to be good. So wisdom, stop looking like
I can't. I don't know if you're joking or not.
it depends on the day.
I,
I know.
No, seriously.
remind me not to get hurt by signs, boy. I tell you,
I might not hurt
Oh, just
nobody.
say,
you might not. You it's supposed to be like a black and white thing. You're like ah. Ah. Train, I wanted to ask you, did you go in the pool or no?
She
no.
said no.
She looked at me, hell no. So going back to it, that was like going back to what you said earlier. I think that was really awesome that you got up and went walking. Because I know we talked personally about you always wanted to walk and not always getting the support you should get, when you go walking. So that was a really big step for you in your progression and in your recovery. I want to ask you, like, what changed? Was it the scenery or was it like the go get attitude of being at stroke camp? Like, what in your head switched where you're like, I'm just gonna do it?
I would say the scenery, the environment, just being at peace. And like I just wanted to enjoy it. I mean, it was cool. It was cool, but it was like I just the scenery. It was a whole different atmosphere. I kind
Mm.
of got a little sad when I hit Texas line, and I was like, "Well, I'm back to the same old." You know,
Oh,
I was
you're
like, the
Houston though,
scenery
right?
just. I'm by Houston.
Oh, okay. We don't want to
It didn't
dox
look
you.
like, yeah, it didn't look nothing like where I was at though. It don't, you know. So.
So you guys went to a place
But
called
yeah,
Happy, Texas? For
It
real?
was called Happy Texas.
I never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's like I can actually
really,
drive
every
there and
time I
go from
say that,
here.
people be
It's like
like, "Is
seven
that
hours
really
from where
on
I
the
live.
map?"
It's like the upper part of Texas.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like near Dallas or?
it's before
It's
Dallas.
Mm, okay.
Well,
Amarillo.
it's by Amarillo.
Okay. Okay.
You ever heard of that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's by
I
there.
lived in Texas for a couple of years, but I just never heard of Happy. There's a lot of places in Texas I never heard of. So,
That's because Texas big for nobody reason.
no, for real.
For real, for real. But no, seriously, y'all. It was so dope, and I'm so glad that we let our guard down, and it's gonna bring us to telling the people, giving them some ideas and some ways to let their guards down when they feeling uneasy about doing something that they always wanted to do but have that underlying fear, because fear consumes us sometimes and stops us from doing the things we
Yeah.
really want to do or that we deserve to do. So what steps could we tell them to take?
And overthinking. You
I
can't
like the
What
way
was that?
you
I'm
overthink it.
said that,
sorry.
and then 3 minutes
Oh,
later
overthink.
her lips start moving on the camera.
She's like a bad kung fu movie.
No, they can't overthink it. Overthink it. Mhm.
Overthinking.
Uh,
Yeah, overthinking is like a
yeah.
problem, right? Especially with stroke survivors, and I can imagine all trauma survivors. Like you want to be so safe that you're just not willing to take certain risk anymore, because whether it's your doctor's
Yeah.
doctor's orders or whatever the case may be. But I think like letting that go a little bit and not being so cautious all the time. I'm not saying like stop being cautious, like and throw all that to the wind, but be willing to try new things and keep your mind open to those things, because you never know what you're capable of until you do it. Really.
Right. Absolutely.
It was like, can y'all hear me? Am I coming in good?
Well, I mean,
Okay.
you still
Like
a
the
kung
night
fu movie, but we
before,
can hear
I
you.
had, oh, like the night before, I had a bad overthinking, and I was thinking like, can y'all hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear
I
you.
was thinking about. I was thinking like, what if they don't have, what about me taking a shower? Will I be able to take a shower? Will I be able to walk up the hills? I mean, it was just so much going on in my head, and my sister was like, just calm down and just go and experience, because I was like, I'm not going because I'm not for sure. And when I got there, everything that I was overthinking was already handled. Like,
Let me tell
I
y'all,
didn't
this is
even
what I
need
try
a
to get up
shower
out
gel
this
for the
trip.
shower. I didn't even have to worry about walking distance on this. I was all over the place. So yeah, it was
She tried to get
good.
up
I'm
out this
glad I
trip with
went
me
and did
so
back
many
out.
times. I get to Texas and she's still talking about I ain't going. Girl, if you don't shut your ass up, I done flew
but
hundreds and thousands of miles. You coming?
for real. But and that's a good like.
What I tell you, I said, well, I done seen you now and chill with you. I can go back home.
Yeah, but that's a good like metaphor about life, like worrying about things that really don't like need to be worried about. She was worried about X, Y, and Z, and when she got there, everything was handled for her. Like if she would have went with her first initial reaction and just like I'm not going, she would have
Right.
never experienced all that she did because of worry. You know, she
Exactly.
would have took itself out of the game before it even started. You know.
And how many things can we all say? Like, look inside yourself and really ask yourself, how many things do I really overthink? Literally every day. A lot of us don't follow dreams. We don't even go. It might be something as simple as going to do some self care, go get a pedicure, and you put it off for something else, or for some reason you didn't go because you overthink it. I don't have the money for this, and I can't do it another day. It's every reason in the world not to do something, but that's where that fear comes from. And the only way we can beat it is to let that guard down, face that fear, and jump in. Take that leap of faith. If you are a spiritual person and you have faith, then put it right there in his hands and do what's necessary. That's the only way you're going to experience your life and have fun. Wisdom, what kind of things have you overthunk, if that's a word, overthunk, and didn't do it, or that you did overthink and you did it, and
Overthought.
you was excited that you did do it? I asked him a question, then he gonna sip some. Really?
You said courage.
No, I said wisdom.
He had to quench
Oh,
his throat.
um, sorry. Um, what do I have? Not really. I try not to like overthink too much. You know, I'm a firm believer of like, you know, just do it, like the Nike
Right.
slogan. You know, there's a lot of like, to be honest, like I remember this, like when I went to go stand in the shower, I was overthinking a lot because I had failed, and I've failed a couple of times, and um, you know, hearing other stroke survivors like, oh, that's not the safest thing to do, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. It was like a constant like battle within myself where I was like, you know, maybe I'm not meant to stand in the shower until I did. And if I would have let my mind take over, I could have easily fell into this place where I was like not ready to handle the certain things that you know, standing in the shower, slippery, um, you know, balance issues. But if you just do it, a lot of the times you realize, oh, this wasn't that bad. I was able to take a shower standing up, which in turn, when I went traveling recently, I didn't have my safety bars in my shower. I couldn't take my shower chair with me, so it was like a good practice for the real
Right.
world. Not everybody's gonna be accommodating for us, so we need to learn how to adapt what we're doing. Like for instance, taking a shower. Um, to like kind of like fall back into a regular place of living because not everywhere you go is gonna have shower you know the handlebars or a seat. So um that was a battle I did with myself where I was like overthinking it a little bit and not having to
Hey, Jennifer.
not letting my mind beat my physical.
Right. Well, I'm glad yours is as simple as you just overthinking a shower, but not. No, but seriously, it's safe to say though you overthunk the shower after you had that falling experience. Like before then, you didn't have that real like fear of it because it wasn't a thing
Because
yet.
I didn't push myself. That's why
Right,
I
it
was
wasn't a
comfortable.
thing yet.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing yet.
Okay. So then it's just safe to say then that most people don't really develop I guess anxiety, if you will, about doing things until they push themselves and fail. But then you got to be strong enough to try again in order to get through the thing that you was just afraid to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great advice. I can dig that. That's facts. But that's in everything in life. Like Wisdom spoke about the shower, but that's literally in everything you do. Like it takes us to actually try
Yeah.
something. And most of the time you gotta fail at it in order for you to know how to reach that success. So I guess in saying that, we're telling you guys that don't be afraid of failing. Don't let your fear consume you so much that you
Well,
don't try.
I'm gonna take it another way. I'm gonna take it another way. Some some people, yeah. Some people don't. Some people life went through that they pushed so hard and that they was like they pushed themselves so hard and they got everything right to where they level they want to be. That when they came a stroke, they overthink. They don't. That's that word in stroke group. Trust. It's more about trust. Like it's not that you don't want to try or you don't want to push yourself, but it goes into that trust factor that at one time I trusted that my body was gonna be good to me. Now I'm not trusting. I don't trust. Like trust is way down here. So I'm not gonna say it's more about like you don't but encourage yourself or you don't sometimes trust come into a factor of that too.
I mean, you're right, but we don't want to talk about it just from a stroke standpoint because yeah, we don't trust our
I was
bodies and it failed us, but we're talking about in all aspects
I'm
of
saying
life in
any
general.
trauma. I'm saying any trauma. Any trauma. Sometimes any trauma you go through, some trust is gonna be lost.
Mm.
So elaborate though when you say that
I'm saying
because
like
you
any
kind of cut
trauma you
me.
go through, yeah, I'm saying that any trauma you go through, some trust is gonna be lost. If you go out and have a car wreck, now you gonna have to your trust is gonna be lost about who's driving you. Is they going a certain speed or I don't trust you doing this. Some trust is gonna be lost in every trauma. If someone
Right.
did something to you, you're not gonna trust everybody like you used to.
I mean, that's true, but you even lose trust within yourself if you think about it. Trust
You
don't
know.
just come from the trauma. We go through things and we make mistakes that we're upset with ourselves and haven't forgave ourselves for, and you lose trust in your ability to make a decision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't even about just trauma. It's just about being human, and that's what people
No,
need to
I'm
recognize
just
that
speaking. I'm speaking for
we're
my
not all we just
situation. Everybody's situation is kind of different. I'm just saying, like some people don't go on the oh I can't or I don't have pushing yourself. It's more about like the trust factor or the
right.
fear.
And you
It's
brought up
different
trust, and
categories.
one of our guests
It's
said
different
they lost
categories
trust in their
of
loved ones,
you know.
and I
Yeah.
think a lot of us lost trust in our loved ones after we've experienced these traumas because our loved ones don't know what it's like to live with these traumas. But I think it's also important for us to recognize the trauma didn't just hit us, it hit our loved ones too. So it's all something that we need to come together to figure out what steps we can take as a unit that we all can win. But I just wanted to say that part because I didn't want her to feel like we didn't pay attention or notice that part. And I think we've all had some type of experience where we've lost trust, not only in ourselves and our bodies and just in our abilities, but in our families. And she said it's to the point to where she thinks she might wants to go into a nursing facility. That has to be a huge amount of trust to be lost to feel like that. Do you have
Mm-hmm.
anything that you possibly want to say to her? Courage or wisdom?
Um.
Yes.
Go ahead, Kurt.
I felt that same way. I felt that same way when I first had my stroke. And I'm gonna tell you, what made me change my mind is because I felt like I was giving. If I go into a nursing home, I'll be giving up on myself. I'm gonna go there to say that it's no longer my life. I'm no longer gonna live my life the way that I want to. I'm no longer gonna be who I am. And I really want to tell her, no, the nursing home, you look young. I'm not sure. That's not where you want to be. You're gonna have to go through the hard to get to the good. Just like we had to go through the thunderstorm to see the rainbow. I just want you to keep pushing and don't think you have to go to a nursing home. Because sometimes good care is not even in a nursing home.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And what were you thinking of telling wisdom before I say anything?
Um, to get to piggyback off of that's the word of the day, the word of the hour. Piggyback. Um, to keep pushing and not kind of like what Deborah was saying, right? Hold on, real quick. Sweezy, Sweezy. Okay, I did it. I was like holding it in, but no. I to keep pushing and not like give up on yourself, right? Because like you kind of like admitting to yourself that you might need help from a nursing facility is you kind of giving up on yourself. And if your support system isn't as great, and you want to go ahead and trust and depend on these people, and they're not meeting your standards, then try to do as much as you can for yourself before you go that route. Cause I feel like you're kind of giving up on yourself. So keep on pushing, keep on striving to be great. Yeah, there's ups and downs of recovery all day, but as long as you stay positive and keep working, the results will come. So just keep doing what you have to do, and don't give up on yourself.
And I will say to you, Miss Tasha, I don't know your full struggle or your story or what your household is even like. Because, it may be that bad to where it may be more peaceful in a facility. But what I will say is, I think if anything, that there is assisted households where you can go live in and still have your regular life and do you, but have people to help you the way you need. And I believe they're called assistant households. And if you want to message me, we'll get more in detail. But what I'm gonna say is, as Junior said, you can never give in to giving up on yourself. And as Kirsch said, that is gonna come. What they both said, it's gonna be. This is a roller coaster, and this trauma does not pick a stop where it wants to stop. You just have to stay in the fight. Certain things ain't gonna come easy to you, honey. It's not meant to come easy to you because it's all strengthening you so that you can progress to your next level. You can't reach your next level if you just throwing a towel. So never throwing a towel on yourself. We know that it's hard, but that's what we're here for. You can always reach out to us. We are your support system because some family you may have to love from a distance. Some family you may not be able to share certain things, but you have family outside of family for that very reason. So just don't give in to giving up on yourself and know that you have a friend in all of us. Strength, courage, and wisdom, we are here for you guys. We don't make this thing just to do it. It's so you can have an outlet when there is no other outlet. When we do those support groups on Friday that all y'all keep missing, come to the support
Facts.
groups, honey. We are a team. We are your support system. And in those places is where we can get a little more in depth and help you find the resources that you need. Because again, you're not alone in this fight. This journey is meant for us to go through it together. I missed question answer time because we was talking, but I will still put up the number for you guys if you happen to want to ask us a question live. But we've been doing that stuff right here on the screen, so I guess it really don't even matter if you call
Yeah,
or not. But
really.
I'm like, you know what? This show it really doesn't matter. Just keep doing what y'all doing on the comments, and we're gonna keep doing what we're doing and answering because yeah, y'all are awesome. Hold on, because I'm slow motion. Um, okay, I'm gonna get to that, honey love, because I can't figure that part out right now. There's a lot going on. Okay, so again, with these last 10 minutes, I'm gonna just, I guess we're gonna just say some encouraging things and remind y'all of number one, again, why we do this and why you're valued and why you're loved and why you're important. And most of all, why you're needed, because you are needed for us to get through this. So I'm going to not start because I'm always talking. So this time, the king of the bunch, Sir Wisdom, get us kicked off. Give him the
Um,
kisses.
I'm a firm believer in good things come to those who wait, and if you just practice patience, I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard. But if you just practice patience and spread positivity, all that's gonna come back to you at some point. I'm a firm believer in karma, and if you're putting out good karma is gonna come back. So don't hesitate to reach out to one of us, whether it's strength, courage, or me, wisdom. We're here for you, like strength was saying, and you're not alone, really. You have all of us here. So it's like a tool. What the hell is the word? A helper with a whole bunch of tools, and he's not using his tools. It's kind of like productive. So I'm not saying throw your business out there for the world to see. Reach out privately, and one of us will help you figure out whatever it is that you're going through. Um, and there's plenty of people. Deborah, for instance, she has 40 years of nursing experience. She can tell you things that I won't be able to tell you about. So utilize the people that are around because you're truly not alone. Whether your family, I don't know your family situation, Tasha, but you have a family in us. So reach out, do your best every single day, and good things come to us. Wait, I'm a firm believer in that.
Absolutely. And before I pass it off to Courage, I just want to say one thing before I forget, because you said one word and it triggered me, and that's practice. Everything we do takes practice, y'all. Even the power of being positive takes practice. Because soon as you say you want to be positive, negative things gonna happen just to see how you're gonna react to it. Trust and believe that anything you say you're gonna change, life is gonna test you. So practice, practice, practice. It's just like we work on our bodies for recovery. You got to work on your mind. You got to work on your heart. You got to work on your spirit. It all takes practice. So don't give up, honey, before you just keep throwing in that practice. Now, let me shut up for that part and throw the cards at Miss Courage. You got something for the people, Courage.
I I I can relate to Miss Tasha, and it kind of took me back. And I just want to say, please, that if you feel like you need someone to talk to, come to the weekly meeting. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it out there this week, Friday, the weekly meeting. If you want anyone to want to discuss about having support at home, please reach out because that is a big part of recovery. And sometimes you just need to come and just talk and cry and just get it out because you're so angry in the inside. Please sign up for the Zoom meeting this Friday. And we here to listen. We gonna cry with you. We gonna all be snotty nose.
I'm an ugly crier.
So
I am a big
So
crybaby, but I try not to cry as much because I ugly cry. I don't like to be ugly, but no, I cry all the time. And Courage is right though. That's what we're here for, and that's what the support groups are for. And that is one of the biggest parts of recovery from any trauma. I don't care what it is. I'm telling y'all, ours is just on the outside. Everybody has trauma, and it is important that we talk about it. Being black, we're taught black people don't go to counseling, men don't cry, stupid. I don't want to cuss, stupid stuff like that. But that's levels of ignorance. And you have to be honest enough with yourself to know that you need help. People are professionals for a reason. They go to school for reasons. They get degrees for reasons. So I believe, and I am a firm believer. I've been a counselor. I do counseling. I do support groups. I do everything that I need to do to elevate my spirit because my goal in this world is to be my best self. And the only way to do that is to acknowledge and hold yourself accountable for your downfalls, for your issues, for your mishaps, for everything. Because one thing I learned at stroke camp recently was I no longer have expectations of other people. All my expectations is of myself. What I'm going to accept, what I'm going to do, all that is of myself. So those expectations need to lie within oneself in order to be better. So I encourage you to seek help. I encourage you to seek support. I encourage you to not be afraid to call a thing a thing. Don't be afraid to put your guard down and admit that you're human. It's okay to be human. We all are that. So know that if you're in the right group, there is absolutely no judgment. There is no hatred. Nobody's going to shun you or make you feel less than because you have feelings and you're a person. We commend you for that. That shows strength. It takes strength to show somebody your vulnerability. So don't be afraid to let that guard down and say, I need help because we all need it. Just some of us are afraid to say because of our culture and how we were brought up. But it takes for you to break that cycle. You break apart those chains because slavery still exists. It just looks different. Slavery exists in some people's households, and slavery exists right here in your mind. If you keep yourself stuck a certain way and refuse to grow because you're like, this is just who I am, that's a slave mentality because it's who you choose to be. So we are just encouraging you to never give in to giving up on you. Believe in yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Walk in faith. Try your very best, no matter what it is that you're trying to do. And know that positivity takes practice. That don't mean you're not gonna get mad. That don't mean you're not gonna have frustrations. That don't mean you might not cuss somebody to F out. But it means you're gonna smile through adversity. It means you're not gonna sit in pain and wallow in woe is me. You're gonna find your light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. This struggle was meant for you because only you can get through it. So, with that being said, I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can't do with that strength in you. Always push through. I'm gonna end it a little early today because I got homework, y'all. But no, truly, I love you guys so much. Please, honey, introduce me. Okay. But I love y'all for real. Don't forget, there's a purpose for your pain. When you're down, there's nowhere else to go but up. Wear your crown with pride. Put that lantern in your crown. Turn that light up. Let it radiate all over your body. Letting the negativity bounce back because you're accepting. You're not accepting nothing that's negative. Only you can accept it. If you don't accept it, it can't come in. So shine your light, baby. You are bright. You are beautiful. You are wonderfully made. Never giving in to giving up on you. Strengthen you. Come on through.
Ooh, bye, everybody.
Coming through with the strength in you. Dun 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 dun. Coming through with the